Here's a hot take. There's a section of people that love anime but hate Japan. Now this video is going to be very controversial to some, but try to watch the whole video as I make my point. Japan has truly reached a breaking point. For them to start to stand up for themselves, fight back against these bullies and many tyrants who try to dictate how they must create their own art is very telling, because they are a very non-confrontational, conflict-avoidant society. I was just there last August for a whole month, and it is such a radical difference compared to where I live here in the West. And I think it's a culmination of things, from tourists who treat their homeland like a zoo and treat Japan like it's their own personal playground, to now foreigners trying to treat anime like it's theirs and not Japan's. And I can see how all of these things can be very aggravating. Now, what is sparking the conversation at the moment is fan art. Now, fan art is something that's supposed to be a fun realm. I see it as something that's similar to modding in video games, something that's done out of appreciation of the original material, putting your own twist on things, creating your own version of it, something that's not done out of the mindset that I'm making an improvement, depreciating the original material, but that's what it has come to be in recent years. A bad faith narcissistic approach, and on top of that has a nonsensical double standard attached to it, and Japan is constantly attacked because of it. Here's one example of a Japanese account getting harassed for their fan art of Nessa from Pokemon. Looks good to me, but they were met with a very nasty reply. Fixed it for you. Please don't lighten dark-skinned characters. With the artist responding, for any reason, it is prohibited to process the illustration and upload it without permission. Please delete your post now. With the other user saying, actually, I'm within my rights since I changed your art in terms of review and criticism in the purpose of learning. I'm not profiting except for putting you in your place. And that is just aggravating even just to read. Like who the fuck are you, yo? I mean, that's just a breaking point right there. Fighting words and fixed it for you. I'm putting you in your place. Just the narcissism, entitlement of a spoiled brat. And boy, the Japanese are very patient. And this harassment got so bad, the user was chased off the internet and deleted their account. Here's an example of some Sonic fan art where this Asian user drew, I guess, human versions of the characters, and then another narcissistic user uploading another version of this fan art but having Knuckles being black, with the response saying, there, fixed your shit for you. Spoiled brat syndrome, like they have this license for pure disrespect, which led to the artist blocking this person and then the person being proud of that. Another example, Pop Team Epic Mangakai apologizes for fan art of Marina from Nintendo's Splatoon after Western social media users accuse him of whitewashing. And this is the type of shit that's just frustrating to watch from afar. Even if it's not happening to you, the fact that he apologized for fan art. Like I said, Japan is a very accommodating culture, but in certain cases, it's to their detriment. The fact he's the one apologizing instead of these crazy, ridiculous users speaks to his patience and just turning the other cheek. I'll just read out some examples of the harassment he received. This is genuinely so pathetic. LOL. You have so much art to color, pick reference from, and you still do this shit. Embarrassing. Why is she white? This shows that people don't know how to use the eyedropper tool or just uses it but makes her skin lighter. She's just an octopus. Okay, I don't give a F. If you don't think she's black, that's still not your damn skin color. Color picking is so effing easy. If you can't get skin colors right in 2024, you're a shit artist. Japanese artists draw people of color normally challenge. Impossible. Japanese people stop whitewashing dark skin characters challenge. I hate how normalized whitewashing is in Japanese culture. A parody art saying, damn, I think we're gonna have to kill this guy. And then finally, with his not needed apology, I received a response that this was racism against black people because the character's skin is depicted as lighter than in the original work. Sorry, my coloring skills are poor, so it's not accurate. Like I said, fan art is you as a fan creating your own version of the original material, but this double standard and constant harassment levied at Japanese artists has introduced such hostility into the realm of it, and Japan has had it, and rightfully so. I don't blame them. They have created all of this toxicity, and it has led to this one picture of fan art, a black version of the Dan to Dan characters, sparking backlash amongst Japanese fans, with one user posting the original next to the fan art saying, I'll restore it to its original state for you, which is basically karma, like I fixed your shit for you, with the tweet getting 180k likes and 13 million views. Another user saying, I'm Japanese, stop making Asian characters black, we're not Disney, which I thought was kind of funny because, Disney's just known for the race swaps. Another user saying, people hate whitewashing and harass artists for drawing black characters slightly lighter, but blatantly blackwashing Asian characters is okay. So basically highlighting the double standards, which is so obvious to see. And like I said, Japan is sick of it. With this Japanese user saying, there are still many racists who say that changing the race of a Japanese character is not discrimination. And as you can see from the quote, they say it's a great drawing because the character is not Japanese. If you point this out, you'll be called a racist. Their IQ is too low to even understand what discrimination is. Obviously not holding back, with them getting a huge support from the West, who also see the double standards and are sick of it. On behalf of the community, I'd like to apologize. Not all black artists are like this, myself included. Many love the characters as they are. It's just the few that ruin things that many love. Thank you for calling out this insanity. There are a lot of people in the West who are sick of this hypocrisy too. To be honest, if you just change the race of a character just for the aesthetic is okay, but telling you changed it to fix a character feels disrespectful to the mangaka who made the character. They'll gladly bully a Japanese artist into oblivion for drawing Marina a shade lighter than usual, and then go and do this. Rules for thee, but not for me. W Japan. Totally agreed. These folks don't hate racism. They hate it when they aren't the ones doing it. Keep fighting, keep pushing back. These people who keep changing the characters only care about power. They don't care about the art or being racist or sexist. They want control. And this I really agree with. The power tripping and rules for thee but not for me is on full display with this whole situation. I learned a while ago that most people don't stand for something, they just stand against something. Like they'll call out something when it's applied to one side but will excuse it when it happens to another side. Just blatant, evil hypocrisy. It's this constant imposition from the West onto Japanese culture, basically the fix your art mentality, but to Japan as a whole. Not just anime and manga, but video games. There was a recent interview with the creator of Dragon Quest and former Shonen Jump editor and editor in charge of Dragon Ball, detailing how the West has pressured them to change their content, interfering with the creative process, with stupid things like being able to choose between a man or woman character to now changing it to body type 1 and body type 2, asking themselves, who is really complaining about this? Answer is really nobody, just these weirdos. Puzzled by such stupidity, even forced to censor the late great legend Akira Toriyama's artwork. They describe these people saying they act like absolute gods, but is evil disguised as good. Such a good description in my opinion. Saying doing business with such a ridiculous country is frustrating. And guys, you cannot overlook this. This huge upset isn't just from one piece of fan art. As I said in the beginning, it's a culmination of things that have added up to this whole volcanic eruption of frustration, of not tolerating this constant abuse and bullshit anymore. And if you choose to ignore this and say, oh, Japan is just overreacting, then, you might be part of the group that loves anime but hates Japan. I said this video might be controversial to some, so I hope I don't get too much hate in the comment section, but I guess that's just the cost of having an opinion nowadays. But that's all I have for this video. If you haven't already, check out my music on Spotify, link in the description. If you enjoy those Samurai Champloo, lo-fi, mellow, boom bap vibes, then my music is definitely for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Free think, peace.